Alright, recording has been started.
Okay, welcome back to Paths to Find. On last week's episode,
Frog girl.
Yeah, there's frogs in there.
there's frogs in there. Man, I love frogs. You guys had spent your first day. You finished off your first evening in Torquelone, spent the next day doing various and sundry activities, including but not limited to a town tour that included Fridge Magnet Central. Fern became friendly again and is so very, very friendly, and has ginger hair now growing in at the roots, and various other things. And after you guys did try the breakfast, right? Some people tried gnome food.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think Aya and Garvel did. They rolled the same thing.
They rolled the same thing, which it still gave them different results because Garvold rolled spicy, and therefore Aya also rolled spicy. And, well, capsaicin, that bird is immune. And thus was unbothered. Garvold was dying and had to drink some milk to fix the spice problem. Unfortunately, the milk was bubblegum flavored, and that was the worst decision I've ever inflicted on a player character. But what can I say? I have to practice with the big evils so that I can do small evils like party murder and things later. And
That could be the other way around.
No, the bubblegum milk is definitely the bigger evil than killing party members, because there's no spell that can fix bubblegum milk, but you can fix death. Soot also had a very bad morning because he rolled a nat 1 on a listen check and had,
the migraines.
Migraines of all time is one way to describe it. There are other ways to describe it, but I won't share any of them. But ultimately, the party coalesced and went to dinner with Pierre and Suarez and the rest of their family, who you all got to meet for the first time. Well, not all of their family, but a few key members, including Hamish, who is their oldest son and the oldest of their children present, who's a very laid-back young man in his late teens, very slow-moving, slow-talking, but overall calming, soothing presence. They're two twins, Anais and Sienna, who are half Selkie and all mischief. Their next youngest, who's a child named Odile, who nobody's really spoken to. She also seems slow to speak, slow to move, but sweet enough after her fashion. And then, of course, Bryn. Bryn was a frog. And Bryn latched on to Garvold like nobody's business and told him their biggest secret in exchange for Garvold's biggest secret. So Garvold told a 10-year-old about his vigilantism, and Bryn told Garvold that they eat from a bag of flies at the dinner table. And that was an equitable exchange of information. And yeah, I believe we left off there because I had sudden brain stoppage last week, so we had to end before we sort of concluded the evening. But it actually works out that Matt is not here because Garvold is trapped at the kids' table, and the rest of you are sitting with the grown-ups. Congratulations.
Teehee.
Is there anything significant that I missed from last session?
No, that sounds solid.
Sounds about like what I recall as well. So,
Yep.
we're gonna call that good. Parker, has your accelerant not kicked in?
Fucking no.
This is
Oh,
so
man.
fucked up.
I've had like a half of it.
We need energy drinks are no longer enough. We need straight rocket fuel.
Listen,
Mood.
the reason I said accelerant was the first thing my brain supplied when I tried to think of like the word caffeine or like the type of drug a caffeine is was depressant, and I was like, that is the opposite of what I want.
True. That is a true statement.
And accelerant was the first option I could think of that was somewhat antithetical to the word depressant. So
I just really like it. I'm about to start calling my Adderall accelerant.
Rocket fuel.
I'm genuinely really into that as a phrase. I probably shouldn't say that to my doctors, but I kind of want to now. Speaking of, I'm a little bit cracked out on accelerant myself between my migraine medication and my prescription medication. So we are thriving. And
Were it not for the fact that a lot of us do not like coffee, and Parker cannot have coffee, I would offer to make Event Horizon, because I think that's as close to rocket fuel as you can get, and still have it be
be very careful if you choose the word
Safe
digestible,
consume.
because that is false.
yeah.
Safe to consume.
Asterisk, but yeah.
Yeah, no. You have to take in very small doses, or you will see God.
So true.
You could be the guy today who ordered a Trenta cold brew with 6 shots of espresso in it.
That man is a king.
Jesus.
That man is God.
He's gonna
No,
see
Ted.
him soon, that's for sure.
And that reason is triple distilled cold brew.
Oof, yep, that'll do it.
Yeah,
That'll do it.
You drink it in shots, not in an actual.
No, and I would not want to drink it as an actual beverage. That sounds scary.
It does not taste bad. Like you can add milk and sugar to it, and it tastes fine.
Do you guys remember
but
that
also there's
one?
something very funny about here. Have this shot glass. What is it? Accelerant.
Do you guys remember that one Tumblr post about the guy whose like laptop got fried when he was working on a big like term paper or whatever, and his roommate made him like unholy caffeine beverage with like crushed up caffeine pills in it?
Mhm.
Yes.
I think about that post sometimes, and I wonder if that man is like physically okay.
Probably not.
Probably not, no. I breathe on too much caffeine and my heart explodes. Anyway, all this to say, you guys are having a comparatively, when compared to Garvold, like a rather peaceful, nice dinner chit-chat. So if you have anything to ask or discuss with your hosts, now is a lovely time.
Victor is kind of reining in the homosexuality because she thinks it'd be weird to flirt with 2 women in front of their children.
Probably true.
She is kind of like still playing the "look, I'm hot" card.
Make a charisma check to see how hot you are right now.
Okay, not bad. 17.
17. Okay. Those of you who have like Victor attraction possible in your soul and body, which is not soot or fern probably, or I don't know about
No.
Garvold. Danela and Aya basically.
Wait, did Matt get here when I wasn't looking?
No.
No, I'm just
Okay.
I'm pretending like people are here who are not. Danela is a yes, Garvold is a maybe, and Aya is a bird. So who's to say? Everybody, like, if you had to rate how hot Victor was being right now, it would be like a 17 out of 20. So pretty damn hot. Shout out to her. Sorry for making you do that. I just wanted to. If nobody has a lot to say, Soris is talking a fair bit. She is thanking you repeatedly, Aya, for the fabric that you had ended up sending and talking about what she made with it. And is very, very excited. She says she made overcoats for the twins, which are now undoubtedly shoved somewhere up in the closet and too wrinkly to be seen, but they were very much appreciated on their trip because it did get a little bit rainy. You guys get from this conversation that in addition to being sort of the back of house at the pub, Soris is also a tailor and makes lovely fine garments. And in fact, at every possible opportunity in the conversation, Pierre is pointing out some lovely handmade article of clothing or another that looks to be of very fine quality, that was made by her wife, God bless.
Victor is going to compliment her handiwork at some point. Like, one of the things that is, like, relatively close enough that Victor could, like, you know, make a show of inspecting.
Like the dinner napkins are these lovely cloth with very fine floral embroidery on them. And Soris, to say she preens under the compliment is not quite the right word, but she definitely is flattered. She's also obsessed with Soot's hat.
Yes.
Never gotten much into haberdashery, but I just love to see a good, well-made hat. It's such a skill set.
It is quite wonderful, and every once in a while, if you go and search around for bargains, you'll find a good one. This was certainly a nice find.
At a bargain, I'm surprised. I'd have paid a king's fortune for a hat so fine.
Yeah.
So fact number 2 is that this woman's a nerd.
Yeah.
Good.
She would love to talk to you guys about textiles.
Victor is happy to talk about textiles.
If there's
So is
no
Fern.
yeah, I was gonna say, actually, this might be a very textile-loving party, now that I think about it.
Aya mostly comes at it from, like, cool colors and patterns we've seen while we were traveling. It's at them all. Just points at them all.
Yeah. Does Fern mention that they weave?
Yes.
Sori's obsessed with that. She, again, doesn't weave her own fabric, but absolutely adores watching people weave. She thinks it's the most incredible talent. Second only to lace making in her mind.
Nice. Fern is willing to info dump if prompted.
Get prompted.
Look.
Here we go.
Look, if somebody tats lace, Soot's just excited about that. He's not too much for textiles, but that is a cool thing, he thinks.
Pierre will, when lace making is brought up, talk a little bit about how her oldest is getting into lace making and is very, very skilled at it. She's always skilled with embroidery and things like that, just like her mother. And yeah, basically the little kids table becomes something like a super spy conspiracy mission over there. And by little kids table, I mean a 10-year-old, a 12-year-old, two 13-year-olds, a 19-year-old, and Garvold. And they're having a great old little time over there. And grown-ups, what are they talking about? Fabrics, textiles, thread, even. So a bunch of nerds gather for dinner, and this is the result. A bunch of nerds and one bird.
Birds.
Hmm?
Peter is also a bird.
That's so true. Pierre is also a bird, and indeed not as much of a nerd. She's just a simp.
It does at one point ask Soot if he is filling up for the whole performance thing
Yeah.
for tonight, or if he'd like to just chill.
Look, if I sit around moping for myself, I think I'd be worse off, to be honest.
I'm gonna be showing off a little bit, so
By all means.
All right, y'all are gonna put on a performance.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Pierre will recruit the twins to make some space in the living room for you guys.
Hell yeah.
And it definitely can turn into like a nice little after dinner impromptu show. If you guys would like to make performance checks.
Hell yeah. I feel like Soot's trying to like include the kids a little bit in this one too. Like
Nice.
taking some
I think
suggestions.
Garvold will also like recruit Bryn on the drums.
Oh my
And by
God.
drums I mean like some pots that Bryn steals from the kitchen. Just because Garvold does have perform percussion, and I think he should participate.
Well, I rolled pretty high for that one. What is that?
So am I adding am I adding just the +2 from working with Soot, or what am I doing?
You're gonna add. Everybody's gonna get a +4 because they have 2 collaborators.
Oh God. So that's a 35 then.
You're
Gonna roll a
flying close.
36.
You're flying close to the sun, Icarus.
I'm getting there. Oh no.
Because that is being an 18 + 18.
Oh my God. Look at us go.
This is especially for Soot, but honestly for everyone, because you've all kind of seen Aya perform. While she does some like acrobatic monk bullshit show off, she usually tries to keep moderately like feet on the ground, and she's going ham using airwalk for dramatics, because part of the point was showing them that she's learned how to ride the wind again.
All of the kids are so fucking stoked about this. Even Odile, who doesn't seem to react to much, brightens up a little bit. Almost looks literally to be glowing when she smiles at Aya, seeing her float and dance in the air. And Pierre and Suarez are equally fucking jazzed about it. So do you tell any particular stories?
I can't think of any at the moment, but I feel like there would be something, maybe... Maybe he'll... Well, no, I don't know if he'd do that one. I don't know what exactly he tells.
That is fair. There are many options. Does he tell something that he might have picked up on his travels, or does he tell something from closer to home, or nothing? Nothing. Neither option, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
I think maybe something closer to home.
Good
I did roll to
times.
see.
Excellent. Yeah. You all get treated to a nice Illigad classic story. A really, really physically impressive performance from Aya. And Garvold and Bryn just having fun on some improvised drums. And overall, it is a good evening. If there's anything else people would like to do at the I've forgotten her last name, at the Karpakova household. Speak now, forever hold your peace.
Aya does absolutely end up in a preening pile with the twins, and anyone else can be scooped into it.
Did I...
True.
You know that place that I got the frogs at? Did I know if there was any more there or no?
Any more of the frogs specifically?
Yeah, like that trinket type.
You had not seen more frogs, but that's not to say that there were none there. You just had those three had very clearly been like in a set.
Okay, then he's not gonna show Bryn the frogs then, because he would feel bad showing a kid these items and then being like, you can't have them because they're for someone else. When Bryn's a frog.
Bryn is a frog. That's so true. But yeah, you guys have a really good evening. Bryn is insistent that Garvold come over to play again. And, she's also... Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, no, finish it. Finish your sentence.
She's also insistent that everybody come over to play again, but they're especially speaking to Garvold when they say that.
Victor will kind of demur and kind of avoid that. I think she's gonna lightly try to like engage Pierre and or Suarez. Like, you know, I haven't been around this side of the country in a long time. Like, what's the news?
Yeah. Pierre will happily chat a little bit about the goings-on in the general area, particularly it depends on how much news you've gotten from other places, how long you have been away. A lot has happened in the county in the last several months, but how long have you been away?
Kind of cracks her head on her neck. 4 or 5 months.
Did you hear about the Ashcombs?
No. What'd they do now?
Pierre kind of makes a face, and sort of glances around, not in like a is anybody listening, but more in a like, are my children in the room? the lady Lavdani Ashcombe, you know, the heir, she apparently fell off a cliff and drowned at the seaside on a trip a few months ago. So the Earl Regent has been named the Earl, and it has been a very interesting climate, I think, politically, but it has been, you know, on the level of us common folk, it has not been so much terrible change. It has just been an odd time of transition, I think.
Well, damn.
That is... Yes, that is what a lot of people feel about it, I think. But nothing disastrous has come of it, except, of course, for that poor girl. You know, passing away as she did. But there has been no immediate rising concern about any change, at least in policy on that level. So it is a relief. Sometimes it is nice to not have to deal with the sudden change. But yes, it's been interesting around here for sure.
Well, I can imagine.
And yeah, Pierre will talk to you a little bit more about various and sundry happenings, but you get the sense, Victor, that like this is like the big news in the region, mostly because it's like to your knowledge, a fairly... It wasn't the actual, like, the Earl who passed away. It was the next in line to become the Earl, but it was, like, a fairly big deal just because of how significant the family is in the area. So.
She'll ask, you know, like, Forest still moving?
Yeah, well, the forest is always moving, you know. Anybody who thinks that the forest stopped moving at any point is fooling themselves, and anybody who thinks that the forest has not been moving from the beginning has not been around very long, yeah?
The reason I headed out of town. And a couple, you know, just kind of getting the...
A lot of local chit-chat catch-up moments. It's good. But yeah, that's...
Also, I want to ask about sort of who of the group is in town. Who of the support group is in town, but that could be a later catch-up conversation, not in the least, because it can give you as PK some time to...
I will say, Cerise is happy to tell you that nobody else of the group is in the immediate, like, nobody is in Torcolone, except for them at the moment, but no, there's a few who are not super distant, so... That is what I will say. Like, there's nobody within the immediate day, but message could probably be sent if you guys wanted to hang around for a few more days to chat with a couple more folks, should you desire. But yeah.
How was it here from, I always mix up whether it was Sunterra or Camlin.
Say again?
The city we came from that Ada is going to be heading back to.
Camlin.
Okay, I always mix up which one is Sunterra and which one's Camlin. Yeah. How long was it to Camlin?
I believe I said it was like a 10-day journey for you guys to get here. So, 10 days back to Camlin.
Yeah. All right.
But you guys can, after, it's one of those things where it's not a Midwestern goodbye so much as it just takes everybody a long time to sort of decide, okay, it's late, we should go to bed. Hamish ends up getting the younger ones to bed and retiring himself before the adults head off. Although Bryn, before they go to bed, do again insist on everybody coming over to play.
Yes.
And
I will definitely agree.
Yeah.
as you should.
Who says no to Bryn?
Who says no to Bryn?
True.
Parents. That's about it.
True. Unfortunately.
It's really
Unfortunately.
more people, but
But yeah, so you all can, if you desire, head back to the Lucky Frog for the evening. And if anybody has anything they would like to do other than EP, let me know. Otherwise, we can proceed forward.
I think EP.
I think EP, yeah.
Episode 50. The gang goes EP.
It's EP all the
Nice.
way down.
It one thing you can say about it is that it is EP all the way down. And therefore I need to update once more the day counter. You've made it to Aristus 14th. Congratulations.
Fuck yeah.
And I am going to take like 2 minutes to run downstairs and fill my water bottle because mouth dry, PK sad. So BRB.
All right.
Victor is slightly suffering.
Yeah, Victor was just like, no children. Going to have the most adult of conversations to avoid playing with the children.
Textiles, they'll never talk to me.
Again, crucially, it's not a you children. It is
So,
I don't know how to deal with children, so I'm not.
Yeah.
we can get Victor a social script.
That girl has autism.
Yeah.
That girl has autism. I think this
I
whole
love her.
party has autism.
Yeah. I'd be shocked if not.
Soot has more ADHD than he
Yeah,
does
autism and
autism,
autism.
but
Yeah.
he do have a little touch of the tism.
Yeah, the tism is him and his objects and items. Perhaps the performative storytelling and gotta collect them all mentality.
He just got a little
Yeah.
touch of the tism in there.
Yeah, he got a teeny bit of tism in there.
He and Val are shaking hands because Val's manifestation of the tism was folklore and mythology and stories. I have to.
Yeah. Somebody gots to.
Would have been a thing of him like trying to collect folklore.
Fern's got the tism for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah. There's so much in there. Fern and Victor competing autisms.
Literally.
Autism hostility.
Yeah. Autism to autism hostility.
We call that come on now. We call that competing access needs.
This is true. This is true.
They all very aggressively competing access needs.
Top-notch autism humor in the chat, boys.
Shout out autism.
Shout
Shout
out
out.
autism, as they say.
Shout out to the tism.
Shout out to the tism. And on that note,
We could wait for Matt because Matt's gonna.
we could
Yeah.
wait for Matt. That might be the strat.
Okay, does Garfield have the tism or the ADHD?
I feel like more ADHD.
Yeah. But I mean, I
Could
don't.
be tism.
I think there's still autism in there. You know,
Yeah.
it's the it's party. You can't be free of it.
I am just thinking now of the one time I told a professor of mine, all my friends are neurodivergent, and she went, really? And I went, yeah. And she went, why? And I was like,
It just happened.
Oh my god, Karen, you can't just ask people why they're neurodivergent.
Hello?
The fact that it was a Y, though, that's really funny. Oh my god. Why?
I was like, I don't know, Kathleen.
Just that. Yeah, that's just how it, girl.
Oh no, they crunchy'd you.
You crunchy nocturne.
Why? Hello?
Mm?
You still crunchy, baby.
Why am I still crunchy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I was sitting there and I was like, Kathleen, all my friends are also queer.
Did she ask you why for that too?
No, she understood that. She just was. I did at some point. I was like, Kathleen, talking to you neurotypicals is awful. Why would I choose to do that in my spare time?
Why? Why would I
Love,
do
is that the wording you used?
No. But like
Okay.
the equivalent, I was just like, it's hard to talk to neurotypicals all the time because we communicate so violently differently. If I don't have to do that, why would I choose to?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hello?
There you
Hello.
are.
Okay,
You're
we
not-
restarted. We restarted Discord.
You are no longer
I guess
crunchy.
Thank
Yeah.
God. Y'all were fine. So it wasn't my connection. I don't know what happened.
This is
Also,
so
hello,
fucked
Matt.
up.
I wasn't gonna mention it because I know that my connection is so fucky. But when other people were like, "Your crunch," it was like, "Oh, thank God, it's not something with Australian internet being fucking bullshit."
Yeah. Sometimes the crunch just happens.
Yeah.
Discord tries
cursed
to
be
squish
crunchy.
you.
Get squashed, idiot.
Discord says, you want the vocal fry, right?
it's free
It's
vocal
free
fry.
vocal
It's-
fry.
It's free vocal fry.
Good morning, Matthew.
Hi, Matt.
Whoa.
Listen. Time
Sorry.
shouldn't exist, and I'm sad about it.
I think I had meant to remind you that US time zones change.
Well, the thing is, I've had so many D&D games between now and it happening that I should have remembered. And then
It's
I didn't.
only. It happened on Sunday. It's only Thursday. How many games have you had? Technically, it happened on Monday for us.
Listen. Well,
No,
it happened like
I'm curious how many games you've had.
four.
Wow. Sorry,
Matt's
that's
on
not
a different
sarcastic.
grind.
Wow, that's. Yeah.
I do nothing else with my time.
Fucking mood.
Yeah.
D&D is
Samesies.
the one thing that I'm just like, I could never drop it, and I am committed too much.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I accept that for me.
Yeah. Words. So yes. Hello. You have been very specifically requested to come back. We had a very pleasant night. Garland and Bryn did grab, did steal some pots and pans and use them as an improvised drum set.
Perfect.
And you in specific, but all of us were requested to come back and play again by Bryn in specific.
Incredible.
So, and now it's
And
time
it
for
is the
Garble
next
to
morning.
run for mayor so that other people can take advantage of the Ides of March. I want to say that though it is all for fun and games, somebody in the party did come to me individually and ask if Garvold could be counted as a political figure, even without winning a mayoral election, just so that he could be stabbed for the rare magic item exploit. And I won't reveal who it was, but I just wanna sow seeds of distrust within the party because that was a question somebody asked me and it was really funny.
Here's the thing. If it weren't for the fact that Matt was definitely asleep, I would have actually said it'd been Matt himself who.
That is... Listen, I considered. But...
Matt pleads the fifth.
Look, I will get the knife if...
Listen, I dare you to try and stab me, whoever. I dare you.
God bless. This is what the Ides of March are about.
Garvold is just so stabbable. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh.
He is a little stabbable. Like, in
Is he
vibe, in
stabbable?
energy.
He is stabbable, but don't worry, he can stab you back twice as good.
He is very good at stabbing.
Yes, but then he doesn't get the benefit from the magic item exploit.
I'll stab him
Sorry.
anyway.
Hey, listen, I do get the benefit if you die.
True.
True.
What's a little stabbing between friends?
So true.
Questions to ask
Of old time.
Fern and Victor.
God.
True.
True. But yeah, it is now the morning of Aristus the 14th. And, y'all have the whole day ahead of you.
That's so
Well,
bothered.
I certainly know Aya's step 1 is gnome breakfast 2.
Gnome breakfast. Two. Roll a percentile for me then, Aya. And anybody
Sure.
else who's having gnome breakfast.
I'll try
No,
it.
thank you.
I'll try it. Need some excitement.
We have got a
Yeah, same.
42 for Aya.
20. I'll put
42.
mine.
Fern got a 28.
Hey, 29 and 28.
Nice.
54. Gavold is committed and will stick through with this until he builds up a tolerance.
Okay.
Victor has autism and is like, you all are insane.
So, I will start with Garvold. Yeah, I'll start with Garvold. Your breakfast is... It's got actually a really nice, like, sweet and savory moment going on. Like, there's a lot of interplay between the flavors. It's blending really, really nicely. It is, like, all different... It's like 6 different bowls of various types of porridge. But
Incredible.
the flavors are really interesting, and like sampling things together and separate, it's giving you a lot of like really nice, fun flavor moments. Everybody else, I'm so sorry, you rolled in the Pop Rocks category. So everything you take a bite of, it has the sensation of Pop Rocks in your mouth.
Is there scent in this?
Aya is so unhappy, but she knew the risk she was taking with a gnome breakfast.
Hold on. I'm gonna see if Fern is into this or not.
I'm the sort that I
Yes.
refuse to let my food touch each other, so this is my dream.
Your 6 different bowls of
Mood.
porridge.
Yes.
Ideal.
I won't allow sauce to touch my food unless I purposely put my food into sauce.
That's
Yes.
fair.
Handshake.
Incomprehensible, but I love all 3 of you dearly. I
Why would
think
you let it
if
touch
it
different?
I think if it becomes evident that Fern likes this, Aya might ask if Fern would like hers as well. The face journey she is making, like, there was the first bite, and then I was like, that's unpleasant. Is it gonna be better on the second bite? It was not better on the second bite, it was worse.
I think it's less that Fern likes it, more that Fern is not going to stop eating it because it is bad. Fern,
Yeah, well,
Fern sees Aya. It's like, not your thing.
don't like how it makes my mouth feel.
It is weird. It is weird. This is true.
Aya experiencing suffering.
Aya and
Thankfully.
Parker are shaking hands.
I don't mind Pop Rocks, but I'm thinking about Aya, and it's like, no, no, they are incorrect.
This bird fucking hates Pop Rocks.
This bird loves spicy things, hates Pop Rocks.
Bird can't taste spicy things.
Right now, I'm
Yeah,
trying to
which
consider.
she does get a little bored when it's like, oh, so the spicy was the only flavor you were doing.
Fortunately, these gnomes are not limited by petty things like flavor. They also have textures.
I'm just trying to consider, would I actually eat proper food if they had the energy of Pop Rocks? And I feel like it might help somehow.
Hmm.
Bad, but also deeply fucked up. You know how there's a very particular image I'm thinking of like a cat taking a lick of something. I don't remember what, and just the immediate scrunklification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Aya right now.
God bless.
Oh yeah, we did see you experience Pop Rocks.
Those were also the worst Pop Rocks on the planet because they were weed.
And they
They-
didn't even
they-
do anything.
Yeah.
They were
They
flavor.
tasted so bad.
But the flavor wasn't what made me have to go stim in a corner for 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
Poppin' Rocks.
True. But they were just also the worst possible Pop Rock experience.
Yeah. Again, I don't mind Pop Rocks, and those were awful.
Victor is just sitting there with her normal, like, oatmeal, having a good time. There's berries in it.
Nice.
Got a little bit of sugar, got a little bit of fruit in there. Normal oatmeal. Having a great breakfast.
Regular ass breakfast. Shout out.
So, PK, I have to wonder, how many options are there on the gnome breakfast table?
That's a great question. It changes every day. So it's just whatever collection of options I come up with before you guys roll.
That makes sense.
Today there were 4 options, so it was divided into quarters. When you guys rolled for spicy, there were 5 options.
Yeah, we did all hit, all of us except for Garvold hit 25 to 50. Fuck.
Correct. So, after breakfast, does anybody have anything that calls them for the day?
How many days did you say my rings were gonna take?
I believe I said 3 days starting yesterday.
Okay.
I guess Soot just might, like, busy himself by, like, looking for some cool magic stuff, I guess. He's a little bit aimless at the moment.
Define, like, are you looking for more trinkets or are you looking for something more substantial?
I don't know. He might just wander around, look at trinket, might look at both. I don't know if he'll buy any of the cool things, but he'll look at least.
This is allowed.
Are there, like... Is there, like, a place to get, like, an adventuring job or something? Like a job board?
Yeah, there's absolutely a job board.
Can I just go peruse it?
Absolutely. Anybody else got missions or tasks?
Nothing especially for me.
I feel like I was in the same vein as Victor. I was like, there has to be something going wrong in this place. This is too quiet.
They're there.
I want to determine problems.
And
What are you trying to... That's not fair.
Problems you shall find, by God. Yeah, so you guys, Garfield and Victor, go on a little adventure. I'm not sure if you leave, like, with the same intention, but you both kind of head out, and then it's, like, very clear you're both going to the same place.
Mm-hmm.
So make of it what you will. Make a perception or a knowledge local check to... I'm sure between the two of you, you can find a job board, but let's see how well it goes.
Okay, knowledge local then.
Knowledge local. No, perception.
15.
Okay.
Um, 24.
Did you want me to roll as well?
If you are looking for the job board,
Oh, no.
then yes. If you are looking for magic items, then it would just be a perception.
Okay.
Between the two of you, you guys can fairly easily locate sort of the town square area, and with it, as sort of anticipated, a job board. There's a few that are very much like package delivery to various places. Most of the ones that are there are package delivery further west, and most of the delivery jobs that are there that are package delivery further west. Some of them to places Victor would recognize as being either on the edge of or actually within the borders of the Gravenwood. And beyond package delivery, because I don't imagine you guys are feeling super stoked about delivery jobs at the Gravenwood, although correct me if I'm wrong. You do
No.
you do. Wow, that is. You ever click on a link in the bestiary thinking it's one thing and then it's something completely unrelated to that and is way more fucked up than you thought?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Me at any of the Sorrow Spawn in D&D.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, I'll send this link to you guys one day. Anyway, you do get a couple that are like, there's been some break-ins in town and information. Anybody who has information, there's a cash reward for it. And then there's a couple that are like clearly written by a very annoyed and tired local, where it's just like, there's lurkers back again, I'll pay to whoever can get rid of them. And there's one that says investigating that offers to pay for investigating strange behavior of crops. Which, to you, Garvold, is an interesting way to phrase that. Behavior of crops.
It makes it imply that they're alive, doesn't it?
Yeah, in a way that's not normal.
So strange behavior of crops to you, Garvold, is not something you can recall ever having seen on a job board. Certainly disturbance of crops or something affecting crops, that's something you have seen as somebody posting looking for help. Victor, you're like, strange behavior of crops. Oh man, some fucking... The crops are probably now acting up and behaving in strange ways.
Mm-hmm.
Because of fucking course they are.
Yeah. Do I know what the other one means by lurkers?
Make a knowledge arcana or a knowledge nature check.
I'll do, they're the same, but I'll do arcana just because. Natural 20.
Yo.
For a 24.
Lurkers, you think, are probably referring to creatures that they're more technical, not even technical. Their full folklore terminology is lurker in light, and they are creatures that originate from the Feywild that are visible in darkness at the sort of edges of lit areas, but become invisible when light is cast directly onto them. And they are Fae, and they are not particularly powerful Fae, but they're the kind of Fae that if they decide an area is theirs, they're going to make it very, very problematic for the people who live in that area. So you do kind of have to nip it in the bud if you do not want a collective to sort of spring up and declare that that's their territory. You do just, if one shows up, you do kind of just have to kill it to make sure that more don't gather there, because in groups of one or two, they're really not that big of a problem. If you get a lot of them, they can be incredibly problematic and can even create gates to the Feywild in places where you don't want gates to be.
Okay, fuck.
Yeah, crops behaving badly seems to be maybe less of an issue then. Let's open a gate to the Feywild.
Yeah, Victor's just like, fuck. Alright. Fucking. Someone needs to deal with that now.
Do they do anything odd in particular?
Well, not on their own, not to start. The more that gather, the worse it gets. You gotta cut that shit out before they get too numerous, or else you ain't gonna cut that shit out.
I understand that concept quite well, yes. And I will know, is this an area of big agriculture?
It's not crazy agricultural. There are some farms, yes. It is not the main industry of the area, no.
Okay, so it can probably wait like 5 seconds, maybe.
Yeah, Victor is a little bit like, the crops could be concerning. It could just also be outgrowth of the gravenwood affecting other plants, which is bad, but not necessarily something we can handle.
Mhm.
Lurkers in the
Not
light,
far.
though, those need to go before they get too possessive of this area.
They hold the priority, I do agree.
All right.
And if they can be seen... Yes.
Victor will jot down whatever information there is about it to take back to the party.
There is information, there are directions, there seems to be an address on the edge of town with the person who has raised the complaint, but there is a note, like an official city note, making it clear that there is, town-funded reward available for it.
Yeah.
It's just that this particular citizen is the one who was like, homies, there's lurkers again, and I'm not dealing with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Victor will write down that information and bring it back to the inn.
All right. And then
So,
Soot, you went looking for items and objects.
I did.
All right. Did you
want me to roll?
Yes, I would love for you to roll a little funny perception check.
Oh, that was not good. Yeah, that's an 8.
That is not the best, but it's okay. With an 8, I will say you can't really find anything that is, a source of significant magic items, but you do find, another trinket shop that appears to have more interesting magical trinkets. Not quite anything that's like, I hesitate to call any of these things not useful, but they are still very much like, these are magical curiosities rather than items with specific power. You do find it's like if I say a novelty mug arrangement, do you know the kinds of mugs I'm talking?
Yeah. You know Soot collects those.
Yeah. There is one that catches your eye, that has fire symbols sort of embossed in this. Embossed is the wrong word, but like glazed onto the surface of the ceramic in these beautiful rich oranges and reds that look gorgeous on this nice sort of rich brown of this ceramic, and it has a little spark of magic to it, and so you're curious about it and you bring it up to the store owner and they say, yeah, that one, I fucked it up a little bit. It was meant to be like a hot chocolate type situation, perfectly heats your beverage, put cider in it nice and warm, put hot chocolate in it nice and warm, put coffee in it nice and warm. And instead, I'll tell you what, if you are just aching for a nice, perfectly chilled beverage, slap it in there and it'll get nice and chilly for you.
Interesting.
But it's most people don't like that the decoration doesn't really match the theme.
Yeah, it kind of does the opposite what you think it did.
Yeah, it's kind of like somebody messed up the runes or something. I can't imagine how that happened. But if I'm telling you, it's a great conversation piece. And it really does. If you want like a nice cold beer, like this will chill that down perfectly no matter what its starting temperature is.
Interesting. How much would you like for it?
He's gonna squint at you a little.
I mean, it was.
It's a useful enchantment. I gotta say it's worth about 25 gold to me.
But you do have to admit it kind of does feel a little bit different than the intended purpose, eh?
It does feel a little different than the intended purpose, but I would argue that you ought to see that as an opportunity, as a conversation starter, and indeed as a novelty about the product rather than a failure of the product.
You know, I'll think on it. He's gonna set it down.
But if you do make a good point about it not quite being in terms with the theming, so I think if I could, I think I could probably let it go for 20 gold.
He'll kind of like... Yeah. He'll give the nicest smile he can about it and just say, oh, you think that's reasonable?
Glad to hear it.
20 gold. Beverage
20
become
gold.
chilled.
Beverage become chilled. Nice pretty fire mug. Beverage become chilled. It's free beverage.
Yeah. Ah, dang it, my thing didn't update. Character sheet, please. Beverage become chilled. Love
Beverage
the fact
become
it's
chilled.
a fucked up little fire mug, too.
Yeah. There's a few more interesting mugs. There's another customer in there who is like fucking around with one of the mugs and like trying to reach up higher than they can really reach to take it off of the little like hook thing that it's on, and they fumble it when it's up top, and as they drop it, instead of smashing to the floor in a million pieces, it looks like it's sort of gently floating down as if it's under the effects of feather fall and comes to rest very softly and gently on the floor. And the shop owner's like, yeah, I'd say to be careful with that one, but it's careful all on its own.
It's a
Interesting.
cat-proof mug.
It is a cat-proof mug, yes. And the other customer looks embarrassed, but also a little impressed, and they're gonna take that mug and go up to the counter to buy it. But congratulations on your fancy new beverage holder.
Heck yeah.
Soot. All right. I need to plug in my computer or it is going to die so hard and be so upset with me. Because I refuse to charge it at regular intervals.
07.
That is my God-given right as a computer owner.
Mean to him.
Mean to literally, I will be mean to a device.
You gotta sometimes.
I can't believe you.
This is like sacrilegious for something.
It is.
Like my laptop, like the hinge is broken. It's like 6 years old. It's on its last lifeline. Like I think I've broken the headphone in connecting device, and it's just been on charge since 3 years ago. Like it needs it.
Oh my
man.
god.
My greatest concern is when I see your battery's running low. I'm like, what happened?
Cursed.
Listen,
Shout out to computers.
I just keep Shannon on the charger 24/7.
Mood.
Same, we keep our guy there too.
Sleeping.
my computer is so broken. That's why I've just connected a HDMI to a different monitor, and I'm just like my laptop's off to the side.
Incredible.
Iconic for real.
I want to get a new computer, but that's going to be an after I go on a trip sort of energy.
Valid.
This is valid.
Mm-hmm.
Jinx. And is there anything else people are up to? While Soot is a shopping and Garvold and Victor are a job searching, or shall we reconvene at the inn?
Fern will be doing some weaving.
Nice. Anything in particular?
I think you know.
You did give me.
What about?
Okay.
Yeah. I'm starting a new project, and I am making it about that, and so
Okay.
we'll see how, just based on vibes, and so we'll see how that comes out.
Okay.
Oh.
Would you like to make
Make a funny little roll.
a funny little roll? Exactly.
Okay.
What
Let's
the fuck
see.
did I mute?
Oh no. Hi, Joe.
Okay.
What? What did you get?
I rolled a 1.
Oh
That
god.
is so
Why does
beautiful.
this always happen?
That is so funny.
Oh my god. Any time I'm like, let me make a cool weaving roll, I always fail it.
It's true. Anytime it's about something where you're like, I want this to be for like a reason, it's always like the dice are like, no.
So that's a total of 8. That's
Okay.
so fucking funny.
That's good. Here's the thing, Fern. You reach in to your bag of thread to pick out some colors. And everything you pull out comes out tangled together. All these fucking, you've got like black and blue and yellow and red and a ton of your red thread just snarled up around things and orange, and it's just it's
Oh my god.
it's
there any
annoying.
spider webs in the room?
Make a perception check.
That's 16.
16. There does appear to be a small spider web up, hanging from one corner of the curtain and tracing to the corner of the room. You don't see a spider there, and it's a very small web. But there
I'm
is a web.
I'm just gonna look at it for a sec. Like, why?
Yeah.
Pleading, please,
Mhm.
please. For once in my life, let me have a good project.
You do stare at the spider web for a little bit, and there is no response from the spider web. It is just a spider web. But when you turn back to your thread, it looks like maybe there's one color that you can easily pick out and disentangle from the rest. So you do. You're
Thank
able
you.
to get the red untangled. The rest is still kind of a mess, and you're going to have to take a while to deal with that properly, but the red was not nearly so tangled as it first appeared.
All right. Cool. Okay. I like that, actually. It's fitting.
Aya does have something she would like to do. Which does also take her out of the inn.
Okay.
Although I figure she actually would have already known, but she wants to find out if anyone matching Aaron's description has been in town recently. But she's pretty sure if he had, Pierre would have told her. But it's a bit like, I should.
That is a fair concern.
But again, it's also fair that it's like, Pierre would have told me. Pierre also would have probably tried to kick the shit out of him if he showed up. But
Almost certainly.
she still wants to ask.
Yeah,
Still
go
wants to
ahead and
ask around.
Go ahead and make a diplomacy or a knowledge local, I think.
Okay, we're gonna take the one that uses charisma. It's a whole point higher.
Incredible.
We have got a 16 on the diplomacy.
16. Yeah, so you're asking around after with your description of Aaron, and you're not nobody seems to have either seen him directly or seen any caravan that you know him to be closely associated with, which makes sense because his caravans didn't really come this way. Last you knew, and it would be shocking if
most of the reason we came this way was for my sake.
Yeah, and it would be shocking if he had suddenly sort of switched his travel situation. So you're not surprised to learn this, but it is nice to have the confirmation.
Baby.
Baby,
Whose little guy have we got?
Oh,
baby.
she. Oh my gosh.
She.
Just a lady is the thing.
Baby.
Perfect.
Oh, look at she.
So pretty.
She's gotten so big. Like, she.
Remember when she was small? I remember.
Yes.
She still looks small though.
Yeah, but Matt's also you're also a large person, Matt. So it's not like
Still baby.
It's not like I have any sense of scale for how big this cat actually is. Okay, so still pretty small.
Yeah.
Assuming your computer mouse is regular size.
Oh.
You never know.
Walking on
You never know. They make weird shape and size computer mice.
They do.
Bonk.
She love you.
Let me see her. I want to see her.
Oh, cute.
It's perfect.
Kitty baby.
Literally
She will
kitty
do this.
baby.
She will do this for a full hour.
She's perfect to me. I need cats in my house
there's-
again, or I'm gonna die.
There's a little black, like, half-grown kitten I keep seeing around, and I'm so tempted to buy some wet food and try and just, oh, whoops, I have another cat now.
Deal.
Cool.
Listen, it has been wandering around outside through the parking lot.
Steal.
It's
Steal!
free cat. That's how I got Lance. He followed my dad's girlfriend's sister home, and yeah, free cat.
Void.
Coincidentally, you ever like look at an entry in the bestiary just because you're scrolling and you're like, why did they name it that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Stroke lad.
I don't even want to open the Stroke Lad page. I don't really want to know what the Stroke Lad is.
Well, now I have to know, so I'm gonna go.
You're gonna look it up. You're gonna look up the.
I'm gonna look up Stroke Lad.
This could go terribly.
You get one guess as to what kind of creature they are.
Drowned boy.
No, they're fae.
Yo.
Of course, the Stroke Lad is a fae.
They also have goat horns.
Of
Ew.
course, the Stroke Lad has
And
goat horns.
And they have a scepter or some other symbol of nobility. And they hate mortals
L.
because they hate mortals and think they're ugly.
Uggy, assigned Uggy at Stroke Boy.
Stroke boy.
Don't call them Stroke Boys. New nobility just dropped. I'm changing whatever fucking Illigad nobles I had to just all be Stroke Lads. The slap of a Stroke Lad is like the kick of a mule. No,
Man.
it is not.
I must reiterate, if when you do writing, you should run your writing by teenage boys.
Yeah.
There is no reason for them to be called Stroke Lads.
There's no why. Yeah, why are they called Stroke?
There's no reason.
I'm now also looking at the D20 PFSRD bestiary entry, and there's no explanation
Honestly,
for why they're called Stroke Lads.
I really hope someone just did it as a joke. That is my greatest hope in life. That someone's just like, hey, wouldn't it be funny?
They were running out of names.
Stroke Lads.
Like, I thought with that name it's going to be like, oh, it's gonna do some like fucking strobing light bullshit. No, it's just an asshole thing. Why?
There's some. Hold on. I'm just gonna. This is another name that I don't even need to be scrolling the bestiary right now. I have the stat block that I need, but also, what if I just kept scrolling and I saw shit like supermassive singularity? They have electromagnetic shielding. In case you were curious, do you wanna? Anybody want to take a guess what creature type this is?
Elemental.
Aberration.
Like a construct.
Nope. Also Fae for some reason.
Man.
Not sure why the Fae have electromagnetic shielding. This is a
Just in case.
CR20 creature.
Wait for the supermassive singularity and stroke.
What's its AC?
Its AC? 36.
Jesus Christ.
Whoa. Well,
I couldn't even hit that.
They have a plus 43 to perception. And they
Okay.
have damage resistance 20 to everything except adamantine weapons and are immune to cold, disease, electricity, poison, and radiation. So it's also
Sure.
it is also tiny.
It is a black hole.
It is called supermassive singularity. It is less than 1 foot tall but weighs thousands of tons. Thank you.
Black
I
hole,
hate
black
that.
hole, black hole, black hole.
Yeah, so in case anybody was curious what I'm up to, it is definitely just seeing what's on the...
So it's less than a foot tall, right?
Yeah, it's less than 1 foot tall.
I know this doesn't work, but imagine some fae be like figuring out how to put one of those in like a can, like a energy drink can, because they do tend to be very tall. And
No.
just imagine that.
Drinks the supermassive singularity. Now that's accelerant. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
That is information, all right. Okay, anybody have anything else they wanted to do outside of the inn, or are we reconvening in order to chit chat about lurkers in light?
Reconvene?
Get reconvened, idiots. It's like a PowerPoint transition. The slide flips and you're all back in the Lucky Frog.
I will. If anyone's interested, this seems both promising and pressing.
Mm-hmm.
And I will show the information that I wrote down.
So I will say you have also heard of lurkers in light, so you're familiar with. Oh yeah, that is a thing. Anybody else want to know if you have heard of it before? I would require a nature or arcana check.
Victor is willing to explain what they are in general.
Victor can also explain what they are.
So we have to fight them, but not in daylight? Is that what I'm understanding? So you said you said if there's light on them, they disappear, right?
Yeah, so nighttime works, magical darkness works, taking them inside and shutting the doors works.
How strong does the light have to be for it to work?
How strong does the light have to be?
If they are in bright light, they are invisible. If they are in dim light, or darker, they are visible.
Direct bright light is a no-go.
They can also they can create light themselves.
Which makes it more complicated.
Don't love that.
To be fair, they ain't invincible when they're in light, they're just invisible.
Do you know if the light can be obscured by throwing something over them?
I don't know if anyone's ever tried that.
Because, I mean, we could probably get some paint for fairly cheap, or some cheap blankets.
It would also be a question of whether the light emanates from themselves. Because if it does, then they're giving away their own location.
Well, I ain't ever seen one. Like, I ain't never had to deal with one myself, so. Unfortunately, I can't answer that question.
I also have a spell that makes it darker. We could do some research and see if either of those options would be helpful in the job, and then go.
Right.
Sure.
I'm not going to be very helpful as research, though.
Moral support.
She nods.
I drank a whole can of Mountain Dew Energy, and I'm so eepy.
Mood.
No.
Curse of the EP. All right. So, what are your guys' research questions?
How their light works, essentially.
If obstructing that light will make them visible and
Are they
yeah, I think
vulnerable
that's
to? Yeah, like would a
Yeah.
magical darkness spell also affect? Does magic and how do they interact with magical darkness essentially?
Okay. Yeah. So I will say magical darkness, and I'm just gonna give you guys this like between Victor and Soot, because Victor, you rolled a nat 20 earlier, and because Soot, you're very familiar with Fey folklore. I'm just gonna say you guys don't have to like go somewhere and research this. Denayla actually probably would know a thing or two about this as well. Hello, Astwis.
Hi, speaking of my girl.
You guys are talking about your next job, which is to hunt down some creatures called lurkers in the light, which are a kind of fae that are invisible in bright light and only visible in darkness and dim illumination. So between Denayla and Soot and Victor, you guys are able to piece together. Magical darkness does indeed make them like lose their invisibility. It is important to note, of course, that when it is magically dark, it is then magically dark.
for everyone.
And so that will affect your vision the same way magical darkness always does. In terms of what light effects they can produce, they have access, I will just say straight up, to both light and dancing lights at will. And so they can create moving light sources, or they can cast light on specific things if they want to create areas of bright illumination. But of course, light can be countered and dispelled with a darkness spell. And look up something real quick about the text of Dancing Lights, real quick, actually.
I do.
I have a
So
follow-up.
do they and everything they're carrying go invisible with them, or just them?
They have total invisibility.
I have a question about how light they interact with specific light levels.
Yes, go ahead.
So the text of darkness says it lowers the illumination level one step. So like it would cause bright light to become normal light. And outdoors is considered bright light. How is normal light? How do they interact differently with normal light than from bright light?
Let me see.
Because the darkness spell is, I think the 5th edition darkness spell is a lot stronger than this one is.
Mhm.
Because it would have to be dim light for me to actually make something actually dark. So I could cast this, and there would be no mischances if I cast it while we were in bright light.
Trying to see. This text isn't super. In areas of bright light, lurkers are invisible. Yes. In shadowy illumination, a lurker loses its invisibility. Now, to me, that says I would consider shadowy illumination to be dim light, but it doesn't. But then it does not give an actual qualification for normal light. Let me think. Okay. Now it's in the flavor text rather than the actual text. That's helpful. So they are visible in dim illumination or darker. So if you're taking something from an area of normal light to dim light, it makes them visible.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
We could always try to maybe lure them into a space that is normal and then take it to dim.
That could work.
Hello, little lurkers. Come into this house. Nothing will harm you here.
Free Feywild portals over here.
So they're called Fey lurkers?
They're called lurkers in the light.
Lurkers in the light.
Or just lurkers, if that is what you would like to say for
Okay.
Look, I knew that the fairly mundane solution of some dark paint or tossing blankets over them would probably not be very effective, but also it makes perfect sense for that to be what I are.
No, and it's great, and I love it. I wish.
Well, I will note that with the darkness, it does counter any light of a lower level, and I believe the 2 light things they can do is of a lower level.
Yeah, the 2 light spells they have
Yeah.
have access to are cantrips, so you would be able to counter any light that they create.
Okay.
Which is useful,
Yeah.
at least. So as long as we could get them in a place where it's not direct sunlight, like waiting to night time, or getting them in a little house or in a little cave.
Hey, Menace!
It just becomes, how the fuck do we get them in there?
Yeah.
I mean, are they likely to have anything, like...
Are they sentient enough to talk to?
Are they sentient enough to talk to? The answer to that question is yes.
We do have 2 Sylvan speakers, at least.
Yes. Look at her.
Who just died?
I
Just
think it was
did.
Tucker.
Oh no, Elle.
Okay, now he's back.
Can I not accidentally close Discord while switching between monitors?
Would be iconic.
No.
Man.
So we have at least 3 Sylvan speakers then.
Yep, because it's
What was
also
the
more,
third
so.
one?
Yeah, so
Wait, how many people speak Sylvan in this party? Fern also
So-
has it.
Sit Fern and Victor for sure.
And me.
And Danela. So we have
Sylvan speakers.
4 Sylvan speakers.
Can't hide
Yes.
shit with Sylvan.
Does not to rain on anybody's parade, but does anybody speak Aklo?
Yes.
I do.
Yes.
Nope.
I thought I was gonna be like,
Oh,
oh,
really?
really?
Yes, Garvel does. Because he had. Remember, he
Yeah.
had Thorn's Prayer when we buried
Yeah, that-
Grace.
Oh yeah.
That was the actual. That was the finally confirmation of what Godfern follows.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
This
And Garvold has not mentioned that he knows.
That
Yeah.
is so interesting. I'm really loving Jasper Cam right now. Like I'm just obsessed with her.
Good, you should be.
All right, never mind. I wasn't even raining on anybody's parade because almost as many people speak Aklo as speak Sylvan in this party. Victor, I will say you would know that while lurkers do speak Sylvan, they are not to stereotype, but they are evil, and most evil Fae would speak Aklo first and Sylvan second.
But in either case, we have people who can speak to them, which could at least help in the come in here, little lurkers. Nothing bad will happen in this house to you.
Nothing bad will happen here.
Yeah,
Yes,
there is
it's
no
true.
good way to stab you in this house.
I think that is exactly what you should say. Also, I think that's your strat.
If this is like an abstraction of an in-character conversation, if Garvold mentions he speaks Aklo, Fern's not gonna say that they do.
Ooh. Hmm.
Yeah, I think Victor is like, well, they are conversable. They likely speak Aklo and or Sylvan.
Oh, we'll be fine then.
Yes, that is a language which I am familiar. Just a slight side eye to Fern.
All of us are sus as fuck.
I do speak Sylvan.
None of us know how to be normal.
Yeah, the whole party is autistic. Oh, autistic ADHD.
What are you doing speaking evil Fae language?
No, we're all the Spider-Man meme. Quick, Matt.
What were you doing at the evil Fae
Yeah.
language?
I went to Evil Fae Language Con. Leave me alone.
It was an elective. I had to take a language, and it was offered, so I figured why not.
New language for Victor to learn.
Hello, darling.
Oh,
Big
that's
stretch. I hope that you can still see her, by the way.
I can. I'm loving her.
Did you see the big stretch in the yawn?
Yes,
Yeah.
she's literally big stretching. Look at her. She's a cat. I don't know if she knows this.
Maybe she does.
Jasper, I love you. Love you, baby girl. Squishing.
But Victor will mention this as well, so we have that in terms of any strategy we might come up with.
Okay.
I heard that key smash, PK.
That was incredible.
It was.
I need to demonstrate what I did, I think. I'm like, I'm here, my keyboard is here, and
Come
I
on.
literally just, I saw the image and I just,
Turn your camera.
Yeah.
bro. Well, there goes my camera, I guess. But I think that captures the energy better
Am I
than
trapped
anything
with my camera on?
No, your camera is now off as well, Joe.
Mhm.
else.
Alright. It was just like, fuck. It wasn't.
PK's camera got turned off when they smashed their keyboard, and I think that was beautiful.
But notably, it's normal for Garvold to know it because it's actually for otherworldly things as well. And Garvold arguably is, but isn't actually from there.
It's true. It does make sense. But of all the people who it is valid to be speaking Aklo, because it is not just the evil Fae language. It's more like the strange language. It's for when you're weird, when you're a weirdo. When do you
When
ever
you
see me
don't-
without this
so we
stupid
all
hat?
should know it
That's
by
weird.
default.
See, that's where we're all shaking hands.
Yeah, so in order of like most normal to least normal for someone to be speaking the evil Fae language, Garvold is most normal.
He's just a
Um,
guy.
And
I'm
Daniela
actually
comes in
also-
a nice close second.
My creature type is an outsider with the native subtype.
that is your creature type. Yeah, so did I answer everybody's questions about the lurkers? I don't even remember at this point.
Honestly,
I think
mood.
all the questions that have been asked have been answered.
Spicy. Sexy even.
So if we can, well, I mean, I guess it depends. They are sort of on outside of town, so cave might be a good option. It's getting them in there.
Is there something we could maybe use to lure them towards?
I mean, there's a lot of things evil Fae could want.
We could also just wait till like dusk, and like hope it doesn't get too dark by the time we find them.
I can operate in any level of darkness, but I suppose that isn't the same for everyone.
I think I'm the only other person here with dark vision, so
I have perfect dark vision, thank you.
Yeah, I can do with some low light, but that's about it.
Same.
Well, then, as long as we get before it gets too dark, that would also be acceptable.
Wait, is the party less than half elf for the first time since the party's inception?
Probably.
they're exactly half elf.
No, because Fern's a full elf.
Oh yes.
So there are two half elves left. Two half elves remain.
They're going extinct,
Oh God.
finally.
Well, I
yeah, what-
guess I'm gonna have to change now.
What's Danae? What's Danae?
What am I what?
What is your race? I do not remember.
Are we talking what the characters know or what y'all are like?
Characters.
As far as I know, most of you guys thought I was just a weird elf.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were half elf gang.
Which is a point of note. Half elf and elf gang. If Danaela has perfect dark vision, good for her. Why don't
We
I
sure
get that?
don't. Yeah. I feel like me and
Here's the
Fern
thing,
share a
I am
look or
not gonna
something.
I am not questioning it because she doesn't know. Okay, here's the thing: she doesn't know that her person shape is a half elf.
She's so perfect to me.
Victor definitely knows that Danaela is not full at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The things about her tips it off to being like, okay, that's not like a normal half elf or half elf, but like, I don't know what else it is.
I didn't know elves got claws.
She's
Danaela.
Danaela.
She did have to use her claws.
She's Danaela. I don't need to know her specifics yet.
Exactly, she's Danaela.
Literally, she is Danaela.
So yeah, dawn or dusk might be a good option in general, with darkness on hand to make sure they can't brighten things up.
Mhm.
I think that sounds like our best plan.
Did
They have to cast, right?
They do cast spells, yes.
Yeah.
Could be
If I can
useful.
close on one of them before it vanishes, I might be able to keep it from being able to cast. No promises, but
Just see.
Listen, if we can just put one of them down, that sends a good message. Putting them all down would be great, but even one of them would be fine. You just have to make sure they know they can't be around here.
Remind me again, the effect of them in something other than like partial darkness or whatever is that they disappear.
They have total invisibility. Yes.
Guess who has mostly fire spells?
I will say a fire spell will temporarily illuminate the area, but if it's not like part of the spell specifically, it's not going to like it might temporarily make them disappear, but that's not going to affect you while you're casting or affect anything after the duration of the spell is up. So if you're hitting them with fire, they might burn and vanish for a second. But then unless there's another light source, it's not like the darkness is gonna like it won't affect their visibility unless light is specifically part of the spell you're talking about.
Yeah, the only thing is my burning hands, if I use that, it can turn objects, like flammable objects, like burn them.
Secondary question.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be hypothetically possible to get some potions of see invisibility?
Oh, I have that.
That's
not potions,
a Joe
but
question, not an Aya question, because she doesn't know how this shit works. But that's a Joe question conveyed to someone who knows how.
let me see.
If I have access to the spell, I could make it into a potion potentially.
Did I choose that?
I'd have to, once I am able to change out spells, but.
Mm-hmm.
I need to figure out if this is a racial thing or not racial, if it's my specific sorcerer thing or if I chose this spell. I'm pretty sure I chose it.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, see invisibility could be.
Oh, yeah, targets you.
Okay, well, I have see invisibility, but I think that was a thing I got from something. I have to check.
I mean, it helps with soot at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I do have access to it when I get the opportunity to change my level. to change them out. But we are level 5 right now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Are you a prepared caster?
Huh?
Are you a prepared caster?
Yeah, you're a prepared caster, so you can choose new spells every morning.
Let me double check. I think my thing might change.
So I get see invisibility as one of my bonus spells. That's why I have it.
Okay. So that'll cover soot. How long would the potions last?
Depends on if we could even get our hands on any in this town.
Might be able to. If I wouldn't have rolled so shit on my my stuff, maybe we would have had some.
Okay, yeah, I can choose and prepare my spells ahead of time.
Oh, silly me. Excuse me.
Okay, so we could get a potion for Aya.
Yeah.
And Fern. From Danela.
Yes.
Possibly Garvold getting one as well would be a good idea, because Garvold is also a big physical damage dealer.
Hmm.
Garvel's a fetchling. Do they not have
Yes,
like
they
dark
go
vision? Dark
invisible in
vision?
bright light.
Oh,
That's my concern, is they go invisible
right.
in bright
Yes. I mean, if we're talking about that part of it, then I mean, yeah, Victor would also be out of luck, but that's fine. She doesn't need it. She has things she can do on rounds where she can't do damage and still be useful. Thank you, Embrace Destiny, for existing. I love you. I love you, BB.
Embrace that destiny.
Shout out, Embrace Destiny for real.
Also, we gotta remember, y'all, we have hero points.
We do have hero points.
Yeah.
Hmm?
I need to remember what they can do.
Yeah.
but I
Sorry,
only
can we just read some rules again real quick?
I only have one. I'm scared to spend it.
Oh no, I thought you would have gotten some for doing, like, recap-y stuff.
I did one recap, but I wasn't explicitly told. So I just
If you did a recap, babe, you have a hero point from that.
okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I have two. Okay. We never do recaps, so we don't have any.
My rules for hero points are that if you do a recap, you get a hero point. If you do something else that I think is rad enough for a hero point, you get a hero point. You can never have more than 3 hero points stashed at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, I've got the max at the moment.
I have no idea if I have any.
You should have. I
you
think
have-
everybody started with one, right?
You have at least one, yes.
Okay.
So you might have 2 then, Nocturne, if you haven't used any yet.
Yeah, I have not used any. So if I've done one recap, so I have 2.
Yeah.
So what are y'all doing?
Getting supplies for Denali to make potions, apparently.
Yeah, I'm currently figuring out how much that's gonna cost. It only takes me. Let me see. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah, because brewing a potion takes 2 hours if its price is 250 gold or less. Otherwise, it takes a day for each 1,000 in its base price.
These numbers make sense because potions have a sharp jump in price.
Yeah. So I'm currently looking that up.
See, invisibility is a 2nd level spell, so it should be the 250.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Okay.
That's not bad.
We could pool for a couple of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Victor's
Yeah.
still kind of
Couple
loaded.
of supplies. Yeah. Whose priority to get those?
I'm gonna say Aya, just because of reliance on melee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have the
but that
same
was
visibility.
like Aya and Garvel.
Yeah, and I can give
Notably,
myself stuff so I
also
don't
have
need it.
I also have a bow now.
You also have a what?
A
I'm
bow.
cool. I have a bow.
Ah.
Range, woohoo!
Baby
Shut
cat,
up, Ray.
are you okay? She sounds like she is trying to sneeze, but it is coming out wheezing.
Oh, baby.
Oh, I hear that.
Hey,
If we
calm
can
down.
afford to, I think giving one to Garvold might be nice, though, just because Garvold has that nice precision damage.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's.
I think Aya and Garfield being primary would be good.
So we'll need.
And what's the duration on the potions?
10 minutes per caster level.
Okay. So that's just like.
And I think.
Okay,
Would
so
that go off Laura's current caster level, or would that go off the minimum?
Oh yeah, so I am not a prepared caster because of my archetype. I just checked. I knew there was
Oh.
something that made it fucking.
Your archetype changes what kind of caster you are.
Yes, it does.
That's very interesting, and not
I
super
function
common.
as a sorcerer.
Oh, hey, we're shaking hands. I mean, I am a sorcerer,
Okay.
but...
Alright, in which case the Denala potion plan is out, but
It
God damn
is
it.
probably still possible to find a potion. You're just not sure how much it would run you. In what that situation.
But likely to only be able to get one. My vote is actually to give it to Garvold, because Garvold puts out more damage. As loath as I am to admit it, Garvold puts out a lot more damage than Aya does.
well, let's see how much we could get one for
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They might have
First, before
extras.
before we make that call.
We could even maybe, if
I think
there was a
that's my
potion
notes.
maker here, we might be able to commission them for, like, an extra potion.
Or haggle down or something, because,
Yeah.
I mean, how many of us are charisma bitches, right? Like,
Yeah, we got it covered somewhere in there.
Everyone but Aya is a charisma bitch.
It just makes life easier.
Aya's charisma is only for dancing.
If you guys would like to go shopping for potions,
Yes, we've got
2.
some hours before we need to.
go ahead
Because
and
this is like still early morning. Well, mid morning, right?
make some perception check.
I should not roll for this. I did terribly the
I'll
last
make
time.
perception check.
I can roll for this.
I got it as well.
I'm just gonna roll.
I've never rolled
And I'm
above a
curious.
10.
Math.
Look, I rolled an 11. I have no modifier.
I rolled a 33.
Again,
I
see,
got
that is
17.
Oh my
said,
god.
That is at least the 4th time that I've rolled a 1 on
My
that.
god.
Garvold is not allowed to see. Garvold is blind.
Garvold's blind. Look, we had one blind leave the party and another joined.
This is
love
so
him.
fucked up. So, Garvold, you get a little distracted, I'm not gonna lie. You kind of forgot that we were out here for potions because you saw some weird shit and you were like, huh, I'm gonna look at that. And then by the time you ascertained that the weird shit was just 3 gnomes in a trench coat, you were like, I have forgotten the purpose of this errand because we talked about a lot of different important strategies and I don't recall which one we're following. So you are no help, unfortunately, looking for potions. You did, however, see 3 gnomes in a trench coat, so congratulations. The rest of you all easily, between you, managed to find a potion shop that will sell you a potion of see invisibility for 400 gold a pop.
Oh, come on now. These are going to a good cause. I'll take these out, hunt those lurkers outside of town. You really want those gone before they really start making a nuisance.
Make a diplomacy check.
Can I assist with, like, alchemy autism moment?
Yeah, make an autism check. Make a.
I would also offer to assist with like Aya knowing merchant trade.
Well, because I'm imagining just like gushing with an employee about like.
Denala, you're putting on your charm onto who appears to be the actual potion maker in the back. So make a diplomacy check. I also thought that, Nocturne. And Victor, you're putting on your charm to the person who seems to be in charge of selling the potions. So you're trying 2 different strategies. So everybody make diplomacy checks. Aya, I will say you can provide a +2 to Victor's check.
Oh, 125.
Okay, 16. That's a 22.
All right. Let me think. The person in the front talking to Victor is like, I see where you're coming from, and I do want those lurkers gone. I can bring her down to 370, but you understand it's a pretty specialty item. We don't move a lot of stock, so we don't keep a lot of stock.
No, I understand. I'm just making sure you understand the pressing need for these.
No, of course. But 370 is about what I can get you.
Well,
And then the person Danela is chit-chatting with in the back, you guys have been you've been just gushing over this really nice cauldron that she has. She kind of leans, is chit-chatting with you and overhears that and leans over and is like, come on now, Thomas, you can get it to them for 350 easy. Come on now. And Thomas looks a little bit like, that's my wife, ladies and gentlemen. But in an affectionate way, but also
Yes.
babe, I
We
am
are doing a business here.
I am the salesperson, and that we talked about why there was a reason for this, but this is all silent communication that Victor reads off his face in a 2-second time span, and then he's like, you know what? I think she might be right. I think we can get that to you for 350.
Well, 350 is a very nice price. I will be taking at least one.
I can afford. It'll almost clean me out, but I can afford to do another. I didn't say that, but she does. She can kind of.
I'll
If
throw
I
in
am-
350.
Okay, how many are you guys buying? I will say you will not be able to get more than 3.
If Garvold's going to be made to have one, I am willing to pay for one entirely. I also have a lot of money, so
Victor will help supplement the cost across the board.
Yeah. I can definitely afford to do one. It just will nearly clean me out.
I can
but
drop
I
a
can
one.
go halves on one with someone.
I can drop I don't know, 150. Take 50 off of each of you, Garvold, and Nayla.
Okay.
I can also drop some. Just let me know how much.
You guys also have a little bit of money in the party funds, as far as I know.
We do.
I could also throw 50 towards each one.
Okay.
We have 6,000. What the fuck?
You have a lot of gold.
We have 4
6
platinum and 434 gold. Look in the bag. The bag of holding has
Yes,
the
sorry.
party funds.
I misread because transactions.
Yeah. The party funds is mostly a ledger of what we've spent,
Gotcha.
and what's been added.
So we can do
Back to ledger.
we could do 150 from both me and Fern, and then everyone else, the 3 who would be bolstering the majority would do 250.
Yeah, I can do that.
That sound good to everybody?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we taking anything out of the party funds?
I don't think anything directly, but if anyone was really cared about reimbursing themselves any, I think.
I think that's fun.
Aya has basically nothing she spends her money on at this point. Eventually she's gonna seek out magic items, but at the moment she's like, yeah, I'm content with just
So we will take all 3 of their potions, PK.
All right. And I'm gonna trust you guys to be in charge of that math, because when I was listening, I was like, this sounds complicated, and I'm glad it's not my problem to figure it out. So I trust that you all are adjusting your funds accordingly, and you now have 3 potions of sea invisibility.
Okay.
So that's for Garvold and Aya.
Mm-hmm.
And then we could always have a third for floating, like.
If needed for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So add that to bag of holding.
I can add that.
Okay.
We have a plan.
I love that I did see invisibility, but I spelled C like C, like CEA.
Like
or not
the water.
C, SEA.
Like the ocean.
Yeah.
Ocean invisibility. It makes the whole. You drink it, and it makes the entire ocean invisible.
It tastes like sea
Or
water
it makes
trap.
you invisible only while you're in the ocean.
Yeah, sea invisibility for when you're a sailor.
Wait, hold on. You don't need to buy that. There is actually a potion of invisibility in our bag. Wait.
No, that's to make you invisible.
Oh, wait. Sorry, yeah, you're right. God.
Yeah, that's a potion of
opposite.
invisibility.
Yeah. Yeah, God. You know it's late when I'm starting to confuse the two.
Alright, yeah, you guys are able to successfully acquire your 3 potions. Danela, you've made a new bestie in the form of this potion lady.
Hell yeah.
And,
Zanela's very good at making besties.
Danela just has bestie energy.
This is true.
And
The action I just performed was very.
yeah,
There we go. That's that
thank
vibe.
you. I really appreciate that energy. That has fueled me. Alright, and then my next question for you all is, when, in terms of time of day, are you guys going to engage with
Let's figure the evening, that coming evening.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything people would like to do in the meantime?
Have we talked to people where, like, if they've ever cited these things, like, to figure out if
we
there was
should
a
do
general
some
location?
some basic recon on that front. Victor has Victor knows where, like, the guy who's really bitching about it is.
This is true, you do have that address.
Real fast, does anyone need any Cure Light Wounds or Mage Armor potions? Because I have 4 of each, and if we're wasting time, I can make a few more. Like, probably 2 more.
I've got...
How does Mage Armor work in this?
It adds a +4, I believe, to your AC.
Oh, I've got plenty. I've got 2 Cure Light Wounds and 3 potions of Mage Armor in my own inventory, so I think I'm good at least.
I mean, I'm willing to take a Mage Armor potion if you want.
Might be
But
good.
I don't know if PK will allow that if these things use melee attacks.
Hold on. I'm looking up the text of Mage Armor.
It is...
It's very possible that I may not be allowed to do.
There's no mechanical reason that I can disallow you from using this, so unfortunately I do have to say yes.
Okay. Disregarding mechanics, would it legitimately upset you if I did this?
Oh, I don't have to target your AC to hurt you in this fight, so go right ahead, have fun.
Oh, Jesus.
That's fair.
PK.
Teehee.
This is what you did with me and Adder.
Victor's good, but thank you.
Yeah.
So only Aya's taking one?
Yeah. How long do they last?
They last an hour.
Okay. So they are probably both for. Well, no, the sea invisibility potions will have about a 20-minute duration, right? Because
They
it's cast at
probably-
the lowest spell level.
It depends on your caster level, I think.
It's caster level, not spell level.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can assume that I will say in the loosest possible terms, you probably have at least half an hour.
Okay.
On those potions. If you asked about how long they would run, I will say you probably could have gotten an answer.
Victor would have asked. You know this.
Victor would have asked, yes. So I will say... Let me just double check something.
Yep. I am just because like if we can find out roughly where they've sort of been hanging out when we get to within a short distance, I can swig both of those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Soot's gonna be in a similar situation, but he's just gonna cast invisibility.
The potion seller can guarantee an efficacy of 30 minutes minimum with possible carryover depending on the brew. You know how these things are. There's inconsistencies in strength, but they can guarantee 30 minutes.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
So next step is find out where we need to go.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you do have an address
Speak.
for the guy.
The guy.
Dude.
The man's. Also, PK, if you are targeting me for melee, remember that I need to know if you miss me by 4 or less.
Yes, we will have to get to that next week though, because I'm not starting a combat at
Yes.
11
We're
p.m.
not running a combat right now.
So you will have to remind me again next week, although again, I don't think that I will even bother trying to hit you with physical attacks. Next week.
But it's a general thing as well.
Yes.
For my notes, what were the name of these things again?
Lurkers in light.
Okay, thank you.
So yeah, go talk to the person who is very understandably curmudgeony about these things being back.
Yeah. You guys can head out towards the edge of town, the northern edge of town, in case anybody cares particularly much. And you can go to, it's quite clear. The address is one of those sort of vague addresses in the sense that it's the house at the end of the old rocky lane, but like you find the old rocky lane and by God, there's a house at the end of it. So you're like, all right, yeah, this works. And
they sure weren't lying.
They weren't lying. That house can end of the old rocky lane. And indeed, it's an old rocky house. And when you knock on the door, there is a looks to be on first blush human gentleman with very, very, very blonde hair, and like eyebrows so blonde he barely has them. And frankly, this man probably just had a really bad day because he looks like he has the sunburn of his life. But he looks at all of you and says, Oh, please say you're here for the lurkers.
Well, indeed we are, sir.
Oh, that's such great news.
We'll need some directions.
Yeah, there's been a lot of. Oh my God, Cleo.
Yo!
There, Cleo.
Hello,
She.
young lady.
Sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt.
I keep seeing at least one or two. I don't think I've seen more, but they keep coming back kind of seasonally. They like it around here in the summertime, and I don't like them around here in the summertime because next thing I know, they're going to start trying to sacrifice my house guests. And they tend to just sort of, out in the. What's the word? This is a PK moment. What's the word for when there are trees around a place and there are no trees in that place?
Grove.
Clearing is what I was looking for. It's the little clearing near the little pond out that way. Sort of points over. I've got a nice little picnic table set up out there, and I don't mind picnicking with the neighbors, But when it gets to summertime, I'll see in the shadow of the trees those little fucks, and then they'll come out into my clearing in the light, and I can't do shit about them, so I have to pack up with my picnic and leave. And I'm not trying to be rude. I wouldn't be rude if it were anybody else, but these motherfuckers want to stab me or sacrifice me or some shit, and I'm not trying to have a date by my picnic table.
Yeah, they broke rules of hospitality first. You're fine.
Yeah, so so
The lurker
they
must
like
think this guy is a political figure.
Sid is nodding. Yeah, it's just the political figure.
I can't believe you.
Right, so we need to speedrun to being able to stab them.
You
Sid pulls out a blade.
You cannot stab this man.
Shit.
Yeah, so that is his directions to you out by the little pond, the little clearing with the picnic table. And they keep showing up every time he's trying to have a nice afternoon and have his nice little outside meal because it's summertime and he likes being out in the sun on occasion. God's forbid.
We'll get that taken care of by dusk.
Appreciate that.
But what it sounds like is that we have got to set up a picnic and just wait for them to come to us.
Well,
Not bad.
I'll get you a basket if you'd like.
I'll leave out some cider for him.
I got cider for you too.
No, I meant I'm carrying some.
Then I don't have cider for you. And unless you have any more questions for this gent,
Victor's good.
All right.
I mean, I have a question regarding this job, and that is, how much are we expecting to get paid?
Yeah.
But Kaya's not asking that to his face. She's assuming that was on the job listing.
We did just drop like 1,000 gold collectively.
You did. However, I promise it will be okay.
Yeah.
Priceless artifacts. It's fine.
Our reward for this is the power of friendship.
We get to stab Caesar ourselves.
You do get to stab Caesar yourselves. However, I am going to say that
Before we end session, Victor does need to talk to Fern.
All right.
Ooh. I don't know why that was my excited noise, but it was.
That's how I feel.
Okay. Okay.
He
Then
hates this. It's probably even before we head out to the fella's cottage. Or whatever. Back at the inn.
Okay, good to know.
How is she gonna start this? Finding Fern in a bit of a solo moment. Still probably staying a respectful physical distance away.
This is fair. They're in their room for most of the day when they are not, like, the party is not doing stuff together. So
Mm-hmm.
easy to find.
Knock on the door.
Who is it?
Victor?
You can come in.
She will come in.
Hello.
Afternoon. Let's make this brief. I would like to discuss the gun.
Are you going to ask me for it back?
Considering we are going to enter into what could be significant combat, depending on exactly how powerful these individual Fae are, I would like it back. Yes.
Fern tilts their head and is kind of studying her.
She is guarding herself so carefully.
Yeah, they are also restrained. Fern reaches into their bag, takes out the gun, holds it, looks at it for a sec. Takes it by the barrel, holds out the handle to her.
She will take it carefully, finger away from the trigger. Proper gun safety.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Please don't do that again.
I have no plans to.
Thank you.
It's her turn to fucking look at you, TM. And for a second, it looks like there's something she's gonna say. But instead, she just nods and she's gonna turn to go.
Absolutely insane in this moment.
Fern does not stop her.
She will leave. Weapon in hand.
All right. And that is where we're going to call tonight's session. Thank you, Fern and Victor, for coming through, as always.
Woo!